Rhiannon, and Bridget. All right, so this is kind of an impromptu watercolor lesson for the kids. They just wanted to do some watercolor, so I figured it would be fun if we did a little lesson with a couple techniques. Hold on. And then they can go ahead and color and paint whatever they want on their own pieces of paper, right?
Yeah. Right.
All right, so first thing I'm going to do, you see this bucket right here? One side, you see the water is a little discolored. That's where you put your paint that you just got dirty, your paintbrush that you just got dirty in there. And this side is for clean water. So basically, if you get stuff on it and you want to clean it off, go over on this side and you scrape it along the bottom. There's ridges along the bottom that you can scrape it on, tap it, and then clean it off. Okay? And I can also get you guys some paper towels that you can dab it on. All right, so for the first technique, I'm gonna get some clean water and I'm gonna show you how to make cool bloomy looks, okay?
Yeah, I already know this kind of.
Yeah, you've learned this a lot, but Seamus and Bridget haven't. So basically, I'm gonna paint with water right now. I'm gonna do like a little simple flower right here. You can't even see it, but
I can. Kinda. Me too.
Yeah, it looks like there's probably going to be only 4 petals. All right, so then I'm going to get some paint. This is what your palettes are for. You can get some fresh paint here and get right here. Okay, and then while the paint is still wet, you dab in like that. And you see how it's spreading out like that? Because that's where we put the water.
That's what Grandma said was bites on the catch eye.
Okay, but yeah, see, the water will go out like that, and then you can even bring it out, and you could add more colors to it. Like, then maybe we can get some of this purple, maybe. I know Bridget's happy about purple. She loves purple. We'll go like that, and maybe we'll put some up here, some purple here, and it can really mix and stuff. And one thing to remember, watercolor dries lighter than it is, okay? So if you think your stuff's getting a little too dark, let it dry and see if it lightens up, okay? And if it's too light, you might want to darken it up because it'll dry even lighter, okay? So that is called wet on wet, okay? And it's very blendy. It'll cause blooms and things like that. All right, another thing you can do, we'll get it wet real quick. We'll get some maybe red here.
No, purple.
Well, you can do lots of purple. Just let it blend out.
Mom, can you use some purple in that scene?
And this is also wet on wet. But we're gonna let that dry a little bit, and then we'll sprinkle some salt on it before it gets too dry, and then let it dry completely with the salt on it, and we'll flake off the salt, and it'll have cool designs on there.
Salt!
Okay?
We've never done that, right, Mom?
Nope. Now let's do a wet on dry. So this will get some sharper details. So let's go with this color here.
Mom, you're using my paintbrush.
Yes, I am. You're going to use this paintbrush when I'm done. Don't worry. So this one is for sharper details. See, it's much darker.
Wow, Mom is doing a big whole picture with a flower and the color and the red puddle and the blue.
And you can extend it by grabbing some water and just painting the edge. This is called a wash, where I'm basically grabbing the edge of the paint and bringing it down. Of course, it was a wet on dry wash, but it was still wash. One way to do a wash is to get it wet and do a wet on wet with a bead of color, and then just bringing it down like that. Okay? So there we go. There's that one.
Oh, I think that's getting dry a bit.
Let's see.
Oh, and
I didn't-
even better detail, you can use the bottom of your dress.
Yep. Actually, I have some credit card scrapers that you can use to scrape. I did not plan out this lesson at all because this was very impromptu, so I'm probably missing a whole bunch of techniques, and then.
Wouldn't that make like a brown?
Yep, you're right, Seamus. Good job with color theory. But I'm putting it on there where it's really light, and I knew that it wasn't gonna blend there. But let's talk about blending colors. Let's put an orange right here. It's a really nice orange color, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 And now let's
Grandma
put a blue right over top, because a blue is what to orange?
Opposite.
Opposite, so they're complementary colors. When you mix complementary colors, they turn brown. So let's go ahead and put blue on there. It's kind of a greenish brown, but it's also because, you know, they're not, this particular blue and that particular orange are not exactly opposite. So that's why. So there you go. Now you got. So let's say you want to get a different color, like a different color that's not in here, like maybe a different color purple, because the purple that's in here, the magenta actually, is like this. This is the magenta we have in here. Let's say you want something a little more purpley. So what two colors make purple?
Red and blue.
Red and blue.
So make red and blue.
So I'm gonna take a red. We'll go with this red.
Red.
Mm-hmm. It's a very cool red.
And blue. A very dark blue.
And then we'll put in some of this blue, that same blue that we used to make that brown with the orange. And we'll go like that. We don't need a whole lot.
It's more like green.
Yeah, that's
like
because of the
brown.
particular color of orange and red we used. Let's get more red here.
Wait, orange and blue.
Yep.
I said orange and red. And
Or,
purple.
yeah, I know what it is. Yeah. So see, now this is a completely different purple, right?
Yeah.
And now if you want to change it up a bit, maybe you want to add a little bit more of this blue, more of a bluey purple, more indigo color. See, that's really making a nice indigo color there.
Mom made a huge pixel.
And then on the other side, maybe we want it a little bit more red. Maybe we want it a little bit more reddish magenta, like that.
And get the red and the blue.
But, okay, so how do we make like a pink color?
Yeah, because we don't have pink in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
There is a white, but white watercolor is a bit different. It doesn't quite work like that. But what is watercolor? It's transparent. So how about we put a little bit of red right here, but we add a lot of water to it. So we make it really, really diluted. Now let's go like this.
I think it's about time to do that.
So we added a lot of water to it, and we went like that. Doesn't that look pinky?
Yeah.
Maybe we can add a touch more red to it. Just there we go. There's like a pinky color. Now you can try to use a little bit of the white.
It looks
but
like pink.
The white is kind of opaque. White watercolor is more like a gouache. Do you know what gouache is?
What?
Gouache is like in between watercolors and acrylics. It's water activated like watercolors, but it's more opaque. Not like it's more opaque like acrylics, so they're not as see-through. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So they function a bit more like acrylics, but they're water activated like watercolors. Now, while that's drying, I'm gonna go grab some salt real quick. Okay, so there's still some moisture on that area up here where we were gonna sprinkle some salt, right?
Right.
So let's sprinkle some salt here.
You never did that, Mom.
And we'll let it dry. I'm gonna put the rest of this in a little dish so that you guys can use it too, okay?
Hey.
The reason why you cannot eat the salt is because it's getting all over the paint and all over your painty hands. And the thing is, these types, I'm letting you guys use my student grade watercolors, and they're not quite as dangerous as my artist grade stuff, but they do still have some dangerous ingredients in them. And it's okay to paint with them and stuff, but you can't eat it, okay? Because that can be dangerous. There's a lot of different chemicals in paint, in the pigments, all right? Especially the ones that are called cadmium. That's a toxic ingredient, okay? So that's why I don't want you guys eating the salt, all right? Even if there's leftovers over here, you can't eat it, okay?
Even before we paint.
Mm-hmm. So I've air dried this. Now I'm gonna flake off the salt. Camera probably can't see this right now. I used my heat gun to dry it faster so that it would get done. And now I'm gonna do this side. This is why you can't eat any salt. All right. Some of it was still kind of wet, so it's... All right, so if you see carefully, look what the salt did. Look at that design. Isn't that pretty cool? It did it over here too, but it was a little light, so it's hard to see. But down here, you see, especially where we mixed colors, the effect that it did there. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And I'm about to go dry Bridget's and flake hers off, because I can already see that hers is doing the same thing. All right, so here is Bridget's. You see the design it made? Look at all that. That's really cool.
Do you see
The feathering that it does, it's really cool,
Do
isn't
you
it?
see the happy face? And mine's gonna look really cool, right?
Step right here.
Yep.
That's gonna look cool because these are really galaxy colors. So that's fun. Okay, so I'm gonna show you another technique, real quick. Let's do a leaf here. I'm gonna do a leaf. And I'm gonna grab some green. I'm gonna grab some sap green, because that's a real nice leafy green color, and mix it a little bit with this green here. And can't quite see where my water was at, but we'll figure it out. So I'm painting the leaf, right? Maybe I'll add a little bit of yellow in there just to make it really pretty leaf here. Alright, right. So while it's a little bit wet like that, I'm taking a cut up credit card. This was actually a Safeway card that we don't use anymore. And I'm gonna scrape in there. And scrape, 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 scrape.
That was a credit card?
Yep, it used to be. Now I want to add in, let's maybe make this a bit of an autumn leaf. So let's add in some oranges and stuff.
Like red. Kinda add in red.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can add in the ones I made. Look at the ones I made, Mom.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Here, Mom, add it in. It's very autumny. I can mix some more. So take some of that red.
But there we go. Here's our nice autumn leaf.
Well,
All right, so Seamus, Rhiannon, you see I just dried this, but you see where I had scraped?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the colors concentrated where I scraped right there. So now you see a real sharp line. I not only scraped the paint that was in there, but also the paper, so it created a slight indentation right there. So all the color centers right there, so it makes it nice and dark. So now it looks much more like a leaf. So that's one thing you can do with credit card scrapers, old credit cards that we don't use anymore. I'm going to chip away the salt on Rhiannon. It did kind of clump up because we put it in there before before it had dried a little bit. So it didn't quite do the spready thing that like right here. It didn't quite do it like that because we added it while it was really, really, really wet. But it's still pretty cool effect, isn't it?
yeah.
And I like your lines, your scrapes. Those look pretty cool.